Good morning, and it's going to be a real scorcher today. I believe we're going to have a really hot day, and I do hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay cool. Don't get too hot. Let God continue to guide you as we battle great expectations that we have in the flesh of selfish ambitions. Um, Today, looking at selfish ambitions of my reward, um, not the kind of expectations that we really want to have, the ambitions we want to have. We want to get our ambitions focused on the things of God. In this world which we live, however, today, the great selfish expectations that we conceive in our minds are so overwhelming at times. It is that of receiving your reward that we look at today for your sacrifice. In fact, the only thing that most will consider making any sort of sacrifice for is for some kind of reward. What is in it for me is the question often asked. What happens though is that we will miss what is truly important if we let ourselves become focused on our great expectations being so geared towards our reward instead of on our provision from God to provide for our needs. And it's something that's very critical. So here's a question for you. How many of you have ever said, "Yeah, you're not paying me enough"? Probably most everyone will say that they've done that sometime or another to themselves, if not to their boss or employer. You know, you had bigger expectations of what you thought you ought to receive, right? And this most notably is the case when you um, at least to you, it seems that someone else is getting maybe the same pay that you're getting for less work, or maybe they're getting more than you for doing the same job. In Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 4, we find the parable of the vineyard. I hope you probably know that story. If not, really take a look at it today as an entire story, even after we're through. Uh, the parable of the vineyard gives us a prime example of that. Look at when we started in verse 1. And it says there, "For the kingdom of heaven is like a man that is in a householder, and he went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way." Verse 5, look, I'll read that also. It says, again, he went out about the sixth and ninth hour and did likewise. So what we're seeing here is this vineyard owner taking care of his labor, getting labor to serve his purpose for collecting and harvesting. If we know this story, you know what has happened. You know what has taken place. And the sixth hour and the ninth hour, he went out and brought more people in. But at the end of the day, they've all been paid the same. That one penny, no matter how long they had worked, he paid them from the last ones that came and then paid the second ones that came, and then he paid the first one, and this caused a stir as selfish ambitions of those who came first, as they saw those who came last getting a penny. They expected they would receive more. So when they didn't, they're they begin to question. If you look at Matthew 20 verses 10 through 12 and 15, and it tells us there, "But when the first came, they supposed they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and the heat of the day. Verse 15 says, Is it not lawful for me to do that which I will with my own? And that's the response of the landowner, the vineyard owner, as he tells them, I made you a promise, and I gave you that which I promised, and I told the others I would give them what was fair, and to me this was what was fair. The master's response, friend, did I not promise you a penny for a day's work? Friends, did I not give you that penny in which I had promised you? The evil eye that causes so much selfishness and selfish pride and arrogance and ambition in one's life to bring one to focus on what is my reward here on this earth and how can my reward here on this earth be greater. And rather than recognizing that we should be laying up treasures in heaven, we focus on what we can lay up for ourselves here. So read this chapter, chapter 20. Read about this parable of the vineyard, and contemplate on it, pray about it, and let it sink in how easy it is for us to get caught up in that same trap of being focused on what we can get for ourselves by doing a little. I tell you what, change your mind, change your attitude, and do something for somebody because you can. Do something for somebody because you care about helping others. You care about serving God. You care about living as Christ, not being concerned with what it's going to provide you, because God will take care of you. And if that's his promise, I hope you have a wonderful day.